Great rising. It's a beautiful day. It's Walking Wednesdays. And you know how we do. On Wednesdays, I will be coming live every Wednesday, even though I've been live every day to this week. And that's because of the juicing challenge. But I am going to be live every Wednesday, walking with you as part of a regular routine. But today is the Juicing Fast edition. We are halfway there. We are halfway there, y'all, on this 7-day juicing fast. We have almost made it. We are on day 4. ah, and I tell you, I absolutely feel beautiful. I feel wonderful. I feel vibrant, alive. I feel like I feel the weight of the world falling off of my shoulders. I feel like I can actually float. This rising, I got up and I literally, y'all seen my routines on there, on the content that I do. I have pretty much the same routine. I get out of bed, get up, prepare myself, make my bed, the same thing every day, right? The same things. Well, today I did the same thing, but I felt so light. I felt so light, y'all. I felt like, like there was just like I could float away. I told you there comes a time you feel like you're so light you can float away. So I wanted to tell you about how I'm beginning to see differences in the way I feel and the way I look, the way I show up mentally, and definitely it is due to juicing. And the juicing that I have been doing has been, it's to make you feel better. So with that being said, what I'm saying is my skin is glowing. I see that difference. I see my energy levels increase. I see that difference. I see my mental clarity coming clear, I used to talk about want tos or, look forward tos. Look forward tos is definitely that. Peace and love. Welcome to the live. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Would you hit the like button, please, when you enter? Have a I hope you're having a beautiful day. How is everyone? All right. So I see that, my want tos or my looking forward tos have increased. Now, when I talk about look forward to, my look forward to is, everybody strives off of what's next. If they have something to look forward to, you actually live longer. If you have something to, strive for, you live longer. These are things that you do in order to continue on, is what I mean. So for me, when it comes down to it, I actually have so much to look forward to. And my look forward tos have increased because I have began to now be able to manifest those things that I once was not, because I was foggy. I was cloudy. My thoughts weren't right. My mind didn't set right. So now that I'm having a clear mind and a clear spirit and energy, right? The energy is beyond. And so I looked in the mirror today. I've started out this journey. I told y'all when y'all started to make sure you're journaling. That was if you got on the scale or you physically took photos or you measured yourself or you did all in a conjunction to making sure you take a photo of what you look like, so that you can compare it to the end, so you can have a physical comparison. You can tell us about the verbal comparison can be there, but you definitely could tell us about the physical comparison. And show us your physical comparisons. And some people, as I mentioned on this fast, is not necessarily just juice fasting. Some of them are supplementing with a meal. I told you preferably raw is the way to go. And if you're seeing this video right now, it's not too late to jump in. Jump in on this fast. You will definitely be rewarded from whatever point you start, right? So I do appreciate y'all tapping in with me this rising. It is such a beautiful day out here, and I look forward to what's next. I finally can see the light that I so kindly and generously provide on a regular basis. That light, I'm starting to see it for myself, y'all. I'm starting to see it for myself. I'm just popping up here and really quick, my Walking Wednesdays is truly about making sure you get outside, move your body. And I say outside to move your body because nature is so beautiful. At this point, it should be pretty much beautiful weather in every state. I don't know about country, but beautiful. I mean, beautiful in every state. I don't know about every tree because the weather is different in different countries. But here, if you're on Earth here in the United States, you definitely should be seeing beautiful weather. Get out there in it like this. Thank you so much, Diago. I appreciate it. Thank you. Welcome to the live and welcome to Queen's Alchemy. This is the tribe over here, and we welcome you. And so with that, I say, do you move your body? Do you think it's important to move your body? Do you show up for the people who do you show up for yourself, and not for just the people who you feel you obligated to do so? Showing up for you is the best way you can show up. Because when you do for you, everything else falls into place. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I don't feel overwhelmed with all the things that I have to do. Instead, I'm beginning to prioritize those thoughts in my head. Being able to think clearly is freaking amazing. Being able to prioritize these thoughts that I have are amazing. Peace and love, Sab and Tony. Welcome in. Great rising to you. Great rising. I'm just here kicking the game about Wednesdays. Walking Wednesdays is typically going to be every Wednesday rising. However, this walk is no joke up this hill here. I don't know how, no matter how many times I do it, I still get breathless right here up this hill. I felt like I could do it and do it and do it and get better, but I'm breathless. But I'll make it. Definitely that. My watch hasn't set my outdoor walk. But I was saying, move your body. Go outside. At this time, and wherever you are, if you're in the United States, it should be warm weather. I know we're having a lot of rain everywhere, but it should be warm weather. Also, I wanted to say, this rising when I got up, I knew that I needed to harvest some of my lettuce. The only reason I didn't want to harvest it this week was because I knew I wouldn't be able to eat it because of my fast. Peace and love, Corey's World. Welcome in. Thank you for being here, sis. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I know you are. You were looking beautiful this rising. And what I was saying was, so I knew I wouldn't be able to wait because of the way that it keeps growing and flopping and some of the leaves are starting to die off. So I needed to harvest what I had so I don't lose it. And so I went out there in my garden where there's nothing but life. Life. And it reminded me that just how you have to care for this garden, how you have to sometimes harvest what you have in order to save the whole thing. That's how we have to be. Peace and love, real odds. Yes, vitamin D is the best way to get it, sis. I was saying get outside, go for a walk. You know, I'm not saying let it replace any other type of exercise regimen you have, but go for a walk outside. It's definitely beneficial. But whew, I just saw a fish fly, or whatever that is. I don't know what it's called. June bug. Now, and I'm talking about, oh! And they don't even bite. Anyway, so get outside, walk around, and move. And now I was telling the story about going out into my garden today and harvesting my red lettuce. And the reason I did it is because you need to prune and trim back in order for growth to continue. So it's the same thing in life. Isn't it amazing how nature shows you exactly how you should show up in life? What I mean is, when it comes down to you, you should be trimming back and pruning yourself so that you can continue to grow. So trim off all of that negativity. Let go of all that stress. Remove those things that are not serving you, you know, and then allow for the new growth to show up. And so when I was out there getting that lettuce off of the stalk, and I said, wow, lesson. This is a lesson. Because some of it began to die off. You understand what I'm saying? Some of it began to die off. And when I noticed that, of course, it was time to go ahead and harvest out what it is what was needed to be harvested. And that's kind of where I'm coming from today in my message, is just start where you are. But the key part of this is to just start. Start removing things that do not serve you. Trimming off those things that don't give you any purpose or meaning. Removing those people who show up in your life and cause you strife. Even the things that cause you strife. And I'm telling you, you know, sometimes I know for some of y'all, because for me, you know, it's the plantation. You know, it does cause me angst. But I will say, since I've been juice fasting, that I prioritize my thoughts towards the plantation. That I prioritize how I'm going to show up in order for me not to have that anxiety that taps in every time that clock ticks 10:30. I did figure that out. And that's because my mind is free in order to be able to do so. When you're juice fasting or fasting on any level, whether it be, because you're never really that concerned with what you're going to eat because you're not eating. And that takes up about 15 to 20% of our brain space every day. What am I going to eat? When in essence, you don't even need to eat, right? It's not even required. I am not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice. If you have any reason to want to change your diet, you should consult your physician and or healthcare professional. This is for entertainment purposes only. And as I was mentioning, you know, for me, I don't need any food. I don't have to have it. I can live off of this vitamin D shining down on me. This is feeding me right now. As we talk and walk, I am receiving downloads of information that I will be able to share with you as time goes on. This is how I always get my downloads, out here in the sun. Even when I didn't walk every day, y'all. Even when I didn't walk. I would go out and I would sit in the sun. The sun is the best thing that you can do in your life. We've been taught that the sun is not our friend when the sun is our best friend, okay? We've been made afraid of sun cancer, so we're putting screening on our body. So if you're putting a screen on your body so that the sun does not get to your skin, how does it penetrate and get to where it needs to go if you're putting that on there? Hold on one second, let me record my walk. Wow, let's go. All right, so yeah, if they only knew. Yes, absolutely, Corey. You feel great too. And your hydration. Being says hydration. Hydration is key. 100%. It shows up and keeps you moving. It keeps you from being lethargic and having no energy. You know, just it's amazing. This is the first time juice fasting, y'all, and I could tell you I can see the difference in it. But I'm gonna tell you, if you juice what you're gonna drink, because that juice will go bad 2 to 3 days in your refrigerator. I am on day 4, so I need to exhaust the last few juices I have. So I feel like I'm gonna be forcing these juices down today. And then I'll be rejuicing. I'm supposed to rejuice today. This was the actual day to rejuice and start for the rest of the week. And so I do plan to do that. It may be later on in the evening when I do it, but I definitely plan to do that as well. But hydration is key. And the way you get the best hydration is H3O2. H3O2 is literally getting your water from your fruits. Getting your water from your fruits and your vegetables, right? But really from your fruits. Cucumbers. Yes, cucumber is a fruit. Watermelon are the highest two fruits that have the highest content of water in it and will hydrate you. So often you may see people have, what do you call it? Water infused with cucumbers. That's why, because it has a high water content and you're infusing that water, giving it some electrolytes. Water doesn't typically have electrolytes by itself. So just know that part. Water doesn't have electrolytes. If you ever go buy water in the store, which is absolutely ridiculous when you think about it, but if you go and buy water in the store, you'll see that they say some waters are infused with hydration or electrolytes. Let me see what Bean says. The last time I juiced after 3 days, I swear I wasn't even hungry anymore. I was having to force myself to drink because I didn't want anything anymore. I'm the same way right now, Bean. I'm the same way right now. I'm not hungry. I'm not even thirsty. I usually wake up and, drink down an 8-ounce glass of water immediately. Infused water. I keep it next to my bed. I speak intentions into it at night, and I leave it on my nightstand. And while I sleep, when I rise and I plant my feet to the ground, I instantly give gratitude, and then I drink down my waters that I created with intention. And it's infused with fruit. So it's hydration. It gets your body moving. It oils those places inside your body and gets them going, and start moving. It's like starting up the engine, letting it run, letting those oils start to flow through your body. And but as I thought about it, I was like, dang, at that point when I do that, I typically have a thought start thinking, my thought process, so y'all know, my thought process goes to, okay, I don't eat till 2:30, 3 o'clock, period, no matter what. So it instantly goes to, okay, I'm gonna have this today for lunch or this for dinner, or I might need to go to the grocery store right now, grab some things so I can fix me some lunch, whatever that looks like, right? Because my lunch is my only meal a day. And I say, but today, my thought process was not that. My thought process didn't even go anywhere near food. Even when I went to the refrigerator to decide which juice I was going to drink today, I didn't even really want the juice. So I know exactly what Bean is saying. I did not want to see, um, uh, I didn't want to, I didn't want the juice. So I'm still sitting up here thinking, do I need to drink this juice or don't I? But I don't want it to go bad. I don't want it to go bad, y'all. I don't. I do not want that juice to go bad. Um, so yes. Yes, your day 3. Day 3 is when autophagy takes place, ketosis kicks in, and you start to see major differences because all those things and cells in your body begins to regenerate themselves. Regeneration. That's what happens overnight on a fasting as well, if you actually, stop eating before the sun goes down, right? You stop eating before the sun goes down at a decent time. If you follow nature, you'll be okay. Because the way it's designed, if you realize in the summer months, you have more sun, right? And more daylight, and before the sun goes down. And that's because you can intake a little more, but it's designed to be that you take in fruits and vegetables. And so raw, and that's the design. And that's for me. I don't want anybody arguing with me. That's design. That your body is designed to take in these raw fruits and vegetables. So if you are still eating when the sun goes down at 7 p.m. in the summer, then it's okay because you're just eating fruits and vegetables. But if you notice in the winter months that the sun goes down earlier, that means because we're eating heavier and eating more solid type foods that are more comforting to the body, warming to the body, and kind of putting layers on us in that way. So you kind of catch yourself eating more in the winter months than the summer. At least that's how it's designed. Not more, but eating less, but eating more dense foods. So that's how it works. Okay. All it takes is 2 hours for your body to get used to it. It still works on my documentary. I used to be fasting queen back in the day. That's what I'm talking about, Corey. Yes, sis. Yes. Yes, yes. I can freeze my juice. Okay. But in my glass though, I use glass containers. Can I freeze it in the glass? Will it be okay for it to be frozen in the glass? That's what I'm concerned about. I'm concerned about it being frozen in the glass. Mind journey. Mind journey. You know what? It is about in the mason jars. Okay. Corey, you're right. It is definitely about your mindset. You have to have the right mindset to take on a true fasting. It's easy to tell somebody to just do it, show up. And it's kind of why I customize this to say, listen to your body. Don't allow your mind to overtake what is actually happening. Because sometimes we get so in our thoughts and in our mind about what's happening because we didn't eat in 2 days. And we're like, oh my God, I know I probably need to eat. I'm not going to be feeling good. Or you start speaking all this negativity over yourself because no glass for freezing. I have mason jars. Oh, you have freezable mason jars. Oh, well, shoot. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to drink it. I can't let it go to waste. I can't. I can't. I won't. I paid too much money for that. Um, so I will definitely drink. So I'm going to drink when I get home, 3 hours. And that should, and then again, another 6 hours, I guess, before the end of the rise, end of the night, I go, I'll go and drink that. And that should do it. And then I'll be able to drink the other ones. I juiced the other yesterday. I have 3 juices I made yesterday. So yeah, that's what I'll do. Oh, the mason jars are freezable? Okay. You just need to leave room in the mason jar for expansion when the freeze at the top will pop off. Make ice cubes and put them in the freezer bag. Okay. I don't have any way to make ice cubes. I don't have any ice cubes. I thought about making popsicles. Maybe I can make popsicles. What y'all think about that? I can make pops. I think I can make popsicles. I think I'm gonna do that. Um, I'm gonna look into, because I don't know if it's something special, because when I made my popsicles before, and I went to pull it out of the mold, it stuck, but the stick came right out. So I don't know if that'll work. I'll figure something out, but I'll have to figure it out by my lunch hour today. So yes, I wanted to make popsicles out of that kale. I made pineapple, and green apple with ginger. When I tell you, that probably was the best juice. All my kale juices are fire, all of them. Yes, so I'm definitely gonna look into that, y'all. What I'm gonna do as far as that goes. Real Oz, y'all just gave me a great idea. Juice popsicles and ice cubes. Yes, oh my God. I definitely know about the ice cubes. I just don't have an ice, actually, believe it or not, I don't have an ice tray. I don't have an ice tray at all. I have all kinds of mechanisms, but not an ice tray. Go figure. Y'all, it's so beautiful out here. The wind is a slight breeze coming off of from the trees here. You can see, I can feel the breeze coming out of here. We have a small creek right here, y'all, that leads to I don't know where. But yeah, popsicles sound good, but I heard you lose some of the nutrients after so many days and being frozen. I have to fact check it though. And I heard the same thing, Corey. I have heard the same thing. Again, juicing, I juiced in my past, and my reintroduction to juicing came because of Lala's passion for juicing and watching her create these juices that look so delicious. I was like, oh, let me pull my juicer out. And so I started juicing. And then I seen her talk about just doing a fast. You know, she mentioned first the 3-day fast, and she mentioned the 7-day. And then she just was like, just drink juice every day. And I was like, that makes sense. So I decided, I'm going back uphill, y'all. You can tell how my breath's changing. I decided to go ahead and tap in because of Lala and do it again. And I think if I'm not mistaken, Corey, I heard her say that you do lose some of the nutrients over the time if you put it in the freezer. She said she drinks hers fresh. But she juices in abundance, but she actually gives her juices away. And she juices for her family too. You know, it's not a lot of loss, okay? That's good to know. Because juicing is not my expertise when it comes to just fasting. I got you. I've done a lot of that. Just juice is different though. It's hitting different too. The juice is hitting different. Definitely hitting different. But I'm gonna go when I go and get to the when I get to my house. I'm going to. Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. I've been walking for 40 minutes already. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I'm gonna drink it down, but I'm not thirsty. I'm not even thirsty. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's amazing how your palate is reset. That's why a fast is a reset, a recharge, and you get yourself moving again. You know what I mean? You definitely get yourself going. And I'm so excited to see y'all on Saturday for the reveal of how everybody showed up, how it looked for them and their experiences, sharing those experiences. I am very, very excited about that, y'all. I am so excited. And I thank again my people who have had my back, which is each and every one of y'all. Y'all had my back through this whole thing. I appreciate y'all. But truly, I'm going to shout out Lala, Mind Journey, Raw Food is just dedicated to the thing. Black Rose, she's already, this is her lifestyle pretty much. She does ginger shots and every day, twice a day. And I think that's, if I have any ginger left over, I know I'm gonna have some turmeric. I'm gonna make some shots myself, but I'm gonna use what I have to continue juicing. Let me see what's going on. Ah, look who here. Hey, peace and love. Black Rose, Hennessy. Peace and love, I just spoke of you. Just spoke about you. Yeah, everybody's showing up, tapping in, e-wellness. Last night we were on live with the Are You Locked In community. We had a great time. It was fire, a lot of information thrown around. But I saw Zoe Madden on there. I don't know if y'all connected with Zoe. Check him out. He's a very, very entertaining and funny person. If you like to smile and laugh, he's the place to be. Zoe was on there drinking his smoothie, his green smoothie. And that, y'all, is a person. And I heard that Chef Hit Dice is actually participating in this juice fast too. These are two people who eat whatever. They eat whatever and eat however, right? For the most part. Zoe a little more health conscious. Chef Hit Dice, I'm not gonna say he's not health conscious, but I'm gonna tell you that, you know, when you're eating pork and all of those grease and, you know, stuff like that, that's something that can clog your arteries. And for him to do a reset on his body is freaking amazing. It's freaking amazing, y'all. So, yeah. Whew. Yes, absolutely. Anything we can buy in the store. Absolutely, Mind Journey. As y'all can see, Mind Journey is full of information herself. She's done a lot of research on how food impacts everything. She continues to do that research, and that's important. You need to know how this food that they're saying is in these stores impact you, how they show up for you. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love. Have a beautiful day, Monique. Thank you so much for being here, sis. I appreciate you. But I'm ready to roll in this house and see which one of these juices that I'm gonna take. I think I'm gonna go with the green juice. I have my lettuce soaking that I told you about earlier that I pulled out the garden. And but I think I'm gonna go with this juice. This is what I set out for myself. Yes. So, 1 second, y'all. All right, so When I looked in the mirror today, yes, yes, you know what you eat impacts your thought process, impacts how you show up in the world. You know, if you're putting aggressive foods into your body, you can tend to be an aggressive person. If you think about how the love and that I put into all my fruits and vegetables that I'm growing out here, every day I'm paying them attention. I'm going out there talking to them. I talk to them on a regular basis. I go through and make sure each and every one of them okay, see what they're doing today, how you doing, do you need water, should I water you now or should I water you later? That's love, y'all. That's love, that's nurturing, that's caring. That sun was beaming today, y'all. Y'all see, I told y'all I don't be sweating, but still, it's not, I'm not pouring, it's just a glisten. um Peace and love. I just talked about you, raw footage. I just talked about you. Peace and love, welcome in. In real time, I know that's right. And but when you think about the other foods that we put into our body, what goes into that? Energy transmutes through all forms. You know, from the hands to the attitude. Think about the people there in the factories canning up these fruits and vegetables, or doing those things that they're working in there. If they feel anything about their plantation the way I feel about my plantation and I don't want to be there, you might not get love put into these things. So you don't know what you're receiving. So the best thing, they used to say, if you pray over your food, the reason you pray over your food is to remove all those toxic energies and things that have been input into the food or whatever it is that you're partaking. But I say that you definitely should, if praying is what you do. But I have demand that anything that I touch and do that is not of me, I didn't start it, it didn't come of me. I demand that all those things be removed. You know, and I put up a shield that is, I'm gonna be protected. There's nothing's gonna impact me. Um, yes. And you know, the thing about the other food that people partake in, and understand this is, I don't eat meat, so I'm going to talk to you about the difference between, you know, eating meat and eating vegetables and fruits. Okay. I'm not completely raw, but I will eat raw in a heartbeat because all of it tastes good to me, because you can season and put anything on anything and make it taste delicious no matter what you're eating. I have plenty of raw vegetable recipes on my channel. Check those out. I know that My Journey has some raw vegetables on her channel, and I definitely know Lala has some as well. I'm not sure exactly what. I can't speak. Oh, raw foodage. Huh, crazy. Raw foodage has a lot of stuff on her channel because that's what she is, raw foodage. But check those out. So I don't, when I'm preparing my food and yeah, eating high raw. But when I'm not preparing my food, but when you're thinking about the other foods, so the meat side of it, right? So we're gonna talk about the meat side of it. The meat side of this is, you have to think about what happened to this animal. And you have to think about it from your perspective, not from the perspective of you looking at the animal, but you being the animal. Can you imagine as a chicken that someone picks you up? You know, you can feel it because they're energy beings. They're energy beings. They don't speak to you physically, but they can speak to you in energy, right? If they're afraid of you, they're going to run. Because sometimes when we see danger, even though we don't physically see it, we run. We move away from it like, ooh, I don't like the way that feels. Same thing with animals. That's how they function. So if you think about this animal sees this person coming towards them and they're getting ready to do whatever, right? But you have to think about being this chicken. Be the chicken. They wringing your neck, chopping your head off, plucking your feathers. Trauma. And then we wonder why we walk around with so much trauma. So much trauma on us. The trauma is in the food that we consume, in the products that you consume, because most of the food that we're calling food, be it meat, processed foods, those things, most times that's not food, it's products. They're all injected with something that keeps it being more whatever it is. Think about it. If you died, how long is your body going to keep its color? Now, let's go to the meat. If you kill a cow, how do you think they get that meat to be red? I'm telling you, I was, until January 14th, 2024, I was a meat eating person. I did not eat beef. I did not eat pork. At that point, I didn't even eat turkey. I only ate chicken and fish. But I went in stages to get there. So don't think I'm talking down on anyone or speaking, ill will because you eat meat. Don't start feeling like, oh, Queen, here she go on a tangent about meat. Yes, I'm going to talk about what meat is when it comes down to that, because some of us don't even realize it or think about it that way. There's still life in fruits and vegetables. The meat is dead. You're eating something dead. Raw footage. It's dead and it's injected with things. Hey, VJ loves nature. I do too, VJ. I love nature too. Peace and love, peace and love. But that's what I see when it comes down to the meat. That's why I was like, what you put in your body, you have to make sure that it's something that is going to nourish your body, that has a benefit. They tell you that meat has proteins that you need. You know how many people tell me, oh, I was vegan once, or I was a vegetarian, but I wasn't getting the proteins I need. Well, then that's scary, because you ate the meat to get the proteins. Think about what I'm saying. Oh yeah, I understand being on the plantation, sis. I got you. Thank you for being here still. When you think about, oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. I'm gonna come back to it, y'all. Oh, protein in the food. Do you understand that watch, listen to this, y'all. Listen. Y'all hear that? It was sealed. This was sealed. Just like when you seal your stuff in the stores, it be sealed, it pop, just like that. The animal, oh my God, hold on one second, this is delicious. Cheers. The animal is getting its protein, because none of the animals that you're eating eat animals. Pigs don't eat pigs, and pigs is actually a hybrid animal that did not exist until it was created. Cows don't eat cows. Matter of fact, pigs eat slop and trash and poop and things like that. They don't even care about it. They don't eat meat though. Cows, they don't eat meat. They graze on the grass, the green. So if you're getting protein from eating meat, you're getting a third you're getting a third party meat. I mean, you're getting a third party protein, and you're not even getting as much as if you ate the green yourself. Think about what I'm saying. Just think about what I'm saying. Then, peace and love, Zoe. I just talked about you. Everybody talked about, they keep popping in here. I just talked about you, Zoe. And then you have chickens. Well, they give them chicken feed. And I'm not sure what's in chicken feed. All right, I know that's right. Get on that plantation. Mr. I'm gonna argue you down. I'm not gonna call it the plantation. But what else is left? So you have chicken, beef, fish, turkeys. Turkeys, I don't know exactly what they eat either. But all these things that people are proclaiming is protein comes third party. So if you're going to get the protein, why not get it directly from, you know how much of that you have to eat in order to get what you would get in the same serving if you just ate it yourself raw? There's plenty of protein in raw foods and vegetables, because this is what was designed. If you look at everything else and think about everything else, what kind of sense do it make? Every animal that was not hybridly made, I don't know about a cow either. I kind of often think about cows and say, where do they really come from? Chicken being a bird, I can rock with that. Turkey being a bird, I can rock with that. Fish being in the sea, is abundance of those regardless of what, I can rock with that. But when it comes down to a cow, I want to know, what's the cow's purpose? Pig, what's the pig's purpose? Each animal has a purpose. Each insect has a purpose. Think about it. So even bats, owls, eagles, everything that exists has a purpose in its existence. It actually operates with nature. The question is do you operate with nature in the same sense? You get what I'm saying? Are you rolling with nature the way nature is designed to be rolled with? So watch this. I'm growing a garden in my backyard. This says to me that if I can grow and create my own food, me, just some random person, I'm just queen right here. You get what I'm trying to say? I'm not no farmer. I ain't never grew nothing in my life. But I'm watching a wonder happen. And if I can do that, all of y'all can do that. If you can eat from the earth, if I can eat from the earth and live and survive and be in really good spirits and health and juice it, you got so many options when it comes to vegetables. You're not limited to a salad. You're not limited to eating collard greens. You know, we even eating collard greens, but you shouldn't even actually cook any of your vegetables. You should eat them raw. But let's say you do cook the collard greens. Why are we cooking these collard greens in fat back? What is it called? Neck bones. I don't know, whatever you put in it. Because at this point, you're now defeating the purpose. Exactly, Sab and Tony, secondary source. You now defeat the purpose. Let's see what Raw Food just says. I was a meat eater too. I even did the carnivore diet looking for healing. It ruined me. People forget how much protein there are in greens. A bag of raw kale has 36 grams of protein. My green smoothies. Absolutely. You need, if you need protein, and do you know your body automatically generates that? How about study? This is a better thing. How many of you have studied your body and knows its true function? What connects to what and what does what and how it does it and why it does it and what's meant to do? How many of y'all know that? I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you know the true functions of your body, how your body shows up for you, what it looks like on the inside, the inner workings of your body. If you know this, put a 1 in the chat. If I don't see no ones, I'm assuming that y'all don't know. Study yourself. You don't need a doctor to know your anatomy. You don't need to be a doctor to know your anatomy. You don't need a doctor to tell you your anatomy. You need to know your own anatomy. Let's go, Corey. Let's go. All right, Zoe, I appreciate the honesty. I continuously study myself to see what works and doesn't work. I'm always testing. To me, this 7-day fast is a test. That's why I'm truly documenting in my journal the information. The same thing I did when I started this whole journey back in January of 2024. I document everything. I documented everything. And when I did my 1 year right here on YouTube, y'all can watch the video, what happened after 1 year of fasting. It showed, it's a breakdown, but I also go into my journal and break down inserts of my journal of how I documented everything. And speaking of journal, I can drop those. I have a journal that I use. If you're interested in that journal, I definitely, an Amazon affiliate, I'll drop that link in this description so that you can check out that journal that I use. I didn't get any other one, so I'm just taking it that, we don't know our anatomy. It's definitely something, maybe I'll tap into that. Maybe I'm not going to say maybe, I am going to tap into knowing how the body works and functions together. Because it's very important, because once you know about that, you start to think about what you're putting in your body and how that looks for you. You get what I mean? How that looks for you as your health. How does that look for you as your longevity in life? We like to make excuses, y'all. Well, I didn't even know it worked like that. I didn't even know that you could do that. Well, we learning today. We gonna learn today. But y'all, it's been wonderful hanging out with y'all. I know, this is day 4 of the fasting and juice fasting. So cheers to that. And I'm going to take you all up on figuring out how to freeze my juice I have left over in the in the refrigerator. But really, it's only 4 juices. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do in that instance is I'm just going to drink all 4 today, even though I've only been doing 2 a day. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do all 4 today. I'm just going to break it down and drink that instead of supplementing where I would drink water. I'm going to drink the juice. I'm just going to do it because I don't know what that impact is going to be. I really didn't want to do that. I wanted to do a consistent so I can have a consistent result based on how the studies of what I'm doing, because I told you I'm researching it. I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see how that looks for me. I'm trying to see what the actual outcome is. That's why you document it. You want to see that if this thing is working. If it's not, you want to know where to tweak it. What do you think chemists do? What do you think researchers do? They document everything. You ever heard them say, I want to do a sleep study on you, or do a sleep study, or do some type of study? That's because they're documenting you doing what it is you're doing over a period of time just to get an idea of what that looks like. You get what I'm saying? Peace and love, raw footage. Thank you so much for being here as always. Again, I shouted you out. Any of you that don't know, I started a playlist. The playlist is called Tribe Juicing, and it's called a compilation. So Tribe Juicing, then dash a compilation. It literally has different creators that are on board with this juicing challenge that I put in there. Raw footage is in there. Check her out. Black Rose is in there. Lala, Mind Journey, all of them. All of them are in this playlist. So make sure you check it out, okay? With that being said, y'all know what I'm about to do. I got to get my boy his juice and smoothies. Well, tell him I hope he has a luxurious day, raw footage. Tell him I hope he has a luxurious smoothie and a luxurious juice. Cheers. Cheers to your son. Luxury. Oh, I'm sorry, a luxury. I love it. And Bean, it's so great to see you, sis. It is so great to see you. I really have missed seeing you. I haven't been over on your channel. I need to get over there sooner than later, for sure. Corey, thank you so much for being here today. Zoe, thank you for rocking it out and doing your thing, brother. Oh, I didn't see Deidre Smith. Great rising. I came across your show. God sent me here because I need help with my diet and health. Yes! Deidre! Yes! Come through. Come through. Yes. I'm so happy you're here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. I am so glad you were here. And this here is a safe space. Here we are learning how to heal our bodies, how to reverse those things that once were, whatever that diagnosis looks like, whatever those things been told and put over your life. We're here to combat those things. So definitely you are in the right place. I'm so glad you're here, Deidre. I want everybody to welcome Deidre into the building, y'all. And Real Oz says, and the real thing, speaking life into your food. Yes, I read these already. Okay, thank you, Real Odds and Evens, for being here. Monique, for being here. Mind Journey, thank you so much, sis, for being here. Hennessy and Black Rose, thank you so much, so much, so much. I appreciate all of y'all in the chat. And Beatrice, if you're still here, hopefully you are. I hope you are still here. If you're still here, I hope that you join the community, become part of the tribe. Here at Queen's Alchemy, I refer to all of us as the tribe because I definitely live by the fact that I feel like your vibe attracts your tribe. So when I speak to you as my tribe, I speak to you as my vibe. So let's show up together, have this juice today, and everybody have a beautiful and wonderful day. Much love.